So, is there any way to help your spouse get out of limerence? This is a great question. Thank you so much for asking. So, if you haven't heard the phrase limerence before, limerence means hyper infatuation, hyper addiction, hyper fantasy thoughts about the affair partner. And a lot of people find themselves in this limerent state when they're in an affair and right after they break up with the affair partner, they still are having all these kind of obsessive fantasy thoughts about them and can't get that out of their head. So you can't directly help your partner get out of limerence, but you can absolutely have boundaries and standards and hold them accountable. And you can say things like, if you keep interacting with your affair partner, even though I know you're going through this, hard phase, I can't continue in this relationship. So what I encourage you as the hurt spouse or partner to do is just have really clear standards and expectations. Like, we are going cold turkey with this person. You are not talking to your affair partner anymore. And if you do, there's this big consequence. All right. So after you've done that, if your partner is still wanting ideas and ways to kind of break through limerence, there are a couple things that I think will help. So the first thing is for them to recognize that it's a fantasy or an addiction. You can tell Auntie's tired tonight. I keep saying the wrong words. You can recognize it's a fantasy or an addiction and that it's not real. And you need to keep telling yourself that. The second thing is that you need to look for the flaws in your affair partner. You previously had this idealized version of them in your head. You need to change that thinking and start looking for the complications, the flaws, and keep telling yourself, you know what? They are not as perfect as I think they were, and here are all the reasons why. The third thing you can do is focus on downsides of the relationship with the affair partner. So if you actually did leave your marriage and start up with this person, what would the downsides be? Oh, your family might not accept them. Your friends would not like them. Your kids would probably hate them. Focus on the negative aspects. And then you'll be missing the chemical high that you used to get from interacting with your affair partner. You would get little hits of dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin when you were interacting with them and seeing them and, being involved with them. So instead, try to get that dopamine naturally. And you can do that from more exercise, meditation, any kind of joyful activities that you enjoy. And the final thing I'd recommend is tell yourself that if in 2 years you're still feeling exactly the same way, maybe you'll give yourself permission to explore it. But hopefully you never